it's a slap bracelet. And also, that right there, that's my finished apple. Okay, I keep staring at the dang apple. No, this apple going off camera. For those of you who are staying, hi. Me and this guy, we're no longer together. And a part of me, just like a small part of me wonders if maybe I had something to do with it. I don't think so, but some people think otherwise. So I figured that, like, you know what, I need to reflect and grow from this and write everything down. And then I'm like, wow, really, I should just be making a video of this because I've done a lot of shiz that's super annoying. Let's start this video. First story, I don't know if it's worth including because I don't think it's my fault. My then boyfriend had 2 dogs. His dog was named Toby. He was older, he was more well-trained, and he was just an overall slower, quieter animal. And then he had another dog. His name was Oz. And he's just like this little fun-sized pipsqueak little dog. He gets like super overstimulated. He's a yipper and he jumps on you. But you know, again, he's like a little puffball. I feel like I'm describing myself right now, but this is a dog I'm talking about. And so I wanted to go for a walk, and that wasn't out of the ordinary to walk at night. But it's not like I really had much practice walking a dog before. But I mean, it's a tiny dog. Like, I know how to handle a pipsqueak terrier. I didn't know that Oz had an obsession with Toby, like could get separation anxiety. So my boyfriend and Toby crossed the street, and I'm in no rush because I see a car coming. So even though my boyfriend is motioning me to come now, I'm not really coming, and I'm just waiting for the car to pass. So Oz, even though he's like a lane away from Toby, starts freaking out. I swear, I'm like watching this little cartoon animal do like cartwheels and stuff. He is just thrashing around, and I don't really know what to do. So I'm just watching Oz be Oz. And then I proceed to see him wiggle out of his leash and then run across the street in front of the car. And it was just a slow motion experience. I'm just like, no. The car immediately hit the brakes and was this close to hitting him. Like, literally, like, look how close I am together. Like, that could have been so bad. So to me, I guess I just need you guys' opinion for the comment section. I know a lot of these stories are my fault, but I don't think that one is my fault. But what is my fault is that for some reason, I always have this desire to annoy my boyfriends. Like, I don't know if it's because I was a younger sibling. I feel like that's exactly what it is. Not only do I constantly want to annoy them, I want to times 10 that when we're out in public. So one of the things that I would do that would drive my boyfriend crazy is I would love to orbit him. Okay, let's pretend this is him and this would be me. So not only am I wanting to constantly walk around him, but when I do it, I have to turn because that's how the planets work. So as if he's the sun, I will be the earth rotating around him, and he gets so annoyed. And because he gets so annoyed, I have to do it more. For all you annoying girls that are watching me, you're welcome for my idea. There was this one time when I was in Tampa and I was coming back here for something. So my boyfriend picked me up from the airport, and then when we got home, just minutes later, I hear this loud noise coming from the bathroom, and I look, and it's like this bathroom, I'm like looking at it right now. So this water is like spraying up at all these different angles. As helpless as can be, I am wailing. Then I come in and I'm like, do something, come here. Ah! My boyfriend has no idea why I'm squealing because he can't see the running water coming from the toilet that's proceeding to flood the kitchen. And so he comes in and I'm like, do something. Having no idea what he could possibly do. I'm watching him get sprayed with water. Such such a good memory, and I'm so glad he was there. If you guys have seen my other videos, you know that I am obsessed with hair removal, and you know, it can be on me and just ripping it out, or just like having somebody else be hairless. And it's not even like I like a guy with no chest hair and like that hairless look. In fact, I really don't, but I constantly have this desire to rip out the hair. You know what? I always thought maybe I was just attracted to guys with chest hair, but I think I keep them around in my life because I like to just look at it and just think about how satisfying it would be to rip out the hair. Okay, anyway, I noticed that his chest hair was growing all uneven, and all I simply wanted to do was trim it so every little hair was the same length. Finally, I convinced him to, and at the time, I don't have really great scissors like these. Like, these are like hedge scissors, you know? I had like these little tiny like cuticle ones. I don't have one to show you, but you guys know what I mean. Like, you would cut fingernails and stuff with them. I don't know what happened because I've never had this happen before, but all of his hair got like tangled and turned around and all that, stuck in the axle of the scissors. And I'm like, oh, I don't know what to do. So I figure, you know, he's a man. He's not gonna feel this. So I'm pretty much just like doing like a really like, you know, getting one last snip in and then having a little pull and rip. Oh man, did he squeal like a baby. But when it comes to like these tiny little acute pains, all guys are big babies for that, like all the time. Like if I try to pick a scab, all of a sudden he's just like, ow, 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 it hurts, stop. Like, come on. I got banned from trimming his hair after that. This other story was not my fault, even though I feel like he would beg to differ. He and I would always get takeout at this pho place, and it was so amazing because they gave you huge servings. It'd be like this huge tub of broth alone, you know, and you have all your other extras you add. So when we would eat it, we would pretty much put it in like some type of baking dish where you would probably cook like a beef tenderloin in or something like that. Like, it was huge and it was heavy already because it was like a ceramic dish. So, you know, we were making pho in his kitchen, and we decided to go and eat in his room, which why, I don't know, because this is like the worst thing to do. But he gives me a tray table, and he gives me one that has like real mosaic glass, so it's already 10 pounds as it is. And of course he gets like some little flimsy thing. So he loads up my tray, and I was thinking like he was going to take my tray from me, but he did not because he was lazy. So I go in with the tray, and have you guys been like looking at my arms throughout this video? Like, so I'm walking with this tray in the living room, and even his mom comments asking him why he gave me their heaviest tray. But by this point, my hands are shaking, like trying to hold this tray up. And then when we get to his bed, I'm so close to setting it down, but I don't know if I had a muscle spasm or something, but he's watching me, and when it's like this far from touching his comforter, I go, there is pho all over his mom's handmade quilt, and then I burst into tears, crying, like I ruined it. Yeah, I'll say it. So there's been some times when the boy and I have broken up. I feel like if you've been together with someone for a while, you might have already had like an on-off time. And especially like if you're, I don't want to call anybody out, but you know, when you're kind of younger, you know, when you get into a fight, instead of working it out, you kind of see it like, power move, I'm going to threaten to break up with you. At this point in time, we were just in the talking phase. We had not called each other boyfriend, girlfriend, but both of us knew we weren't really talking to anybody else. Not for sure if any of this matters, but to guys, it really does. You know, when you're in that talking phase, it's only a big deal when it affects him, that kind of thing. I was a Tampa student. I was in Texas visiting him, and we were in Denton because he went to school in Denton, so he had an apartment there. And so we decided to do like the little bar strip. And after the bar strip, we visited Crooked Crust. If you've been to Crooked Crust, hey, you know, I haven't gone there too much, and from the story, I don't remember much of it. But here's the deal. So we both had been drinking, and these two guys came up to us, and one of them was being super political. And of course, my boyfriend and I at the time had very different political beliefs, and that was whatever, because this was way before the culture, like the hate culture that's going on now. That wasn't a thing, you know. He was this, I was that, whatever, we coexist fine. So, but I remember this guy was like bashing, like being like really rude against my political party and just blowing smoke up like my boyfriend's butt about like politics. And I just thought it was so rude that my boyfriend was like really getting into it, like just so outwardly, like making me feel bad, just being kind of rude. I remember though, I wasn't like super hurt because I felt like he was just outwardly like trying to make me mad. Like he just seemed like he was exaggerating everything. So my response, because again, I've been drinking too, was just to be sassy, and I wanted to pretty much like you've met your match, like I can be like annoying too. So I decide to kind of be flirty with the other guy who's there. And of course I'm not like, give me your number. Like, I'm not being sneaky about it. Like, it's literally, I'm trying to have a conversation to annoy and get my boyfriend's attention, just so he will wrap up what he's doing and send these guys on their way.
Oh, hey. Oh my gosh, can I have your number? Like,
I'm just being annoying, okay? But again, both been drinking. And then they leave, and he immediately breaks up with me. And I remember the whole world like going black on me. I have a huge mental breakdown in Crooked Crust, and not just like crying, like weeping into my hand. I wail, like I'm literally going, ah! Ah! like literally wailing. Everybody's looking at us. We're causing a huge scene. And then my boyfriend tells me, whoa, wait, we're in the talking phase. So, you know, he's not a boyfriend, he's a boyfriend. He gets so embarrassed that he says, if you stop crying, I promise to retract my breakup. But again, like I can't hear him because I'm drunk and now having some type of weird panic attack, and I continue to wail and scream and cry. Huge scene, like huge. And then he's like, okay, let's get out of here. And then I follow him like just sobbing. And then I sob in the car. And then later that night we sob, and we're having like such a talk about it. And I remember him being so overly dramatic. Then there was one other time in college when he broke up with me, and I can't remember why, but to be honest, I think I was just being a really big brat. Then he tried to break up with me, and I just physically like and mentally and emotionally couldn't take it, that my response was just telling him no.
I'm sorry, but we have to break up.
No.
What's that?
We're not breaking up.
I think this kind of wraps it all up, but if I can think of anything else more, there'll always be a part 4. If you guys hadn't seen part 1 or part 2, go find those links and subscribe if you want to join the fam bam. I love you. I mean it. Bye, guys.